A good action movie has to be impressive. Chases, dangerous fights, explosions, and guns are a very important part of the whole show. A big number of crew members work on making them good enough to keep the potential viewers on the edge of their seats. A great help comes from the computer-generated image, but you would be surprised to know that many of those breathtaking stunts that we watch on the screen have been performed live by the actors or stuntmen themselves. Here are some incredible examples of some real stunts. So get ready for amazing movie scenes without special effects. The Matrix Reloaded. When we think of The Matrix, we cannot imagine it without a great amount of special effects. And it is true that the filmmakers took advantage of the latest CGI here. After all, the next part of Neo's adventures had been awaited with impatience by millions around the world. However, not all the outstanding scenes were made and created with the help of computers and up-to-date technique. The best example is the scene of a car chase. It was actually filmed live on a motorway in Australia thanks to General Motors, who had supplied the crew with 300 cars used during shooting. As many as 38 of them had been prepared beforehand to perform different stunts. At the same time, the production managed to close the 2.5-kilometer long part of the motorway and block the oncoming traffic to play it safe. But that is not all reality in the movie. They decided to actually use 2 real trucks to film a crash. And they were not just any trucks. Here, we can see 2 enormous machines with the engines as strong as 500 horsepower. This is way the 16-minute long part of The Matrix Reloaded, with the chase is the one many remember for long. Not bad, really not bad. No surprise that the film became a great hit and was able to make $742 million. Hey, do you want to learn more about your favorite movie scenes? Subscribe to our channel and like it, just to make sure you will not miss any of our other videos and ideas. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Probably one of the most incredible situations when it comes to using existing buildings during filming took place while making Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Why? The filmmakers decided to put Tom Cruise on the highest building in the world, Burj Khalifa. It is 829.8 meters tall and became a background of some amazing stunts. As most of the film lovers know, Tom Cruise is an actor who often decides to do his own stunts. Here, it had taken him months to prepare, but yet it was definitely worth the final emotions it gives to the viewers. What is more, the crew did not only put Tom on the building, but they actually persuaded the owners of Burj Khalifa to let them destroy some parts of it. Yes, you have heard us right. The breaking windows and scratches visible on the screen are 100% real. Well, maybe 85%, but still it is quite a result. It seems that this crew has accomplished their mission. Inception. Inception was directed by Christopher Nolan, and when we hear this name, we can expect something extraordinary that no one else would dare to do. So, the film from 2010 still surprised and fascinates a lot of movie lovers. Although such a picture has to be packed with CGI, Nolan is convinced that putting actors into real situations and surroundings is highly beneficial for the final product. Therefore, an incredible chase that can be seen on the screen actually took place in Los Angeles with the presence of a tractor trailer which imitated the train. It was possible with a little help of metal sheets and some perspex. Similar situation was in Paris, where the whole street exploded in front of the main characters. What could not be found in the real world was built in a special hangar. A great construction that could be turned around and filmed in different angles was built to add some reality to the unreal world. Actors were able to walk and run inside it, giving the viewers a more realistic picture of the whole scene. Anyway, not only the outside, but also the inside of buildings came alive in Inception. For example, the crew worked on the impossible stairs in one of them in London. They had found something that was close to the original idea. The trick was to put the cameras in correct places in order to persuade the audience they can actually see the Penrose stairs. The Dark Knight. Another film directed by Nolan that got onto our list is The Dark Knight. One of the best pictures of the recent years with an incredible creation of Heath Ledger, who was awarded with the Oscar for the role of Joker, unfortunately after his tragic death in 2008. Stunning and brilliant, created with a lot of hard work and some breathtaking scenes. Let's take the explosion of a hospital. no one would even suspect that such scene can be real. However, it is. The producers found a building in Chicago. It was supposed to be demolished, so they decided to film a great scene just in front of it. All the flames and explosions visible on the screen happen just behind Ledger's back. At some point, one thing goes wrong and the series of bursts stops. What we assumed was the actor's role is in fact a pure improvisation. We have to admit, one of the best ever. It turned out naturally and no one even noticed that the pyrotechnic specialists were sweating behind the cameras. Without a doubt, we can call it a masterpiece. But Nolan would not be himself if he stopped there. Chicago could witness another incredible show when the crew was filming a flip over of an immense truck right in the middle of the city street with the stuntmen inside it. This trick, which had been practiced many times beforehand, came out spectacular, we must say. Spectre, another James Bond movie. What do we expect from it? A great dose of stunts, chases, modern weapon, and beautiful woman. All of this included, Spectre was a hit. Or maybe we should use the word blow, as it shows the biggest explosion that has ever been created for a movie. No wonder it was put into the Guinness World Record book. This one took place in Morocco on the 29th of June 2015. Instead of creating the flames and burst with a CGI, the producers decided to build an actual station and blow it up. To obtain the right effects, the special effect expert Chris Corbold used more than 8,000 liters of fuel and 30 kilograms of explosives. No wonder the crew had a blast filming it. In the actual shot, the actors themselves stand and watch the scene, as we would too if we had the chance to see something like that live. 28 days later. Another director who really wants to show the atmosphere and emotions of the film is Danny Boyle. In 28 Days Later, he decided to present the actual deserted streets of London instead of taking the whole crew into the studio, and it definitely paid off. The filmmakers persuaded the London police forces to close a few streets really early in the morning. This way we can see the actor Cillian Murphy walking around completely quiet in depopulated areas in usually crowded British capital city. It really boosts the atmosphere of terror, uncertainty, and even a dose of magic. Of course, some of the residents or workers in the nearby buildings had problems due to the situation, but as the crew said, they had all been really friendly and helpful. After all, you do not witness such a horror-like scene every day in real life, do you? Another great effect obtained without the computer effects and special design studio set was the scene filmed at the hospital. This time, the producers managed to rent a real existing hospital, which luckily normally works only on weekdays. Thanks to this, during the weekend the crew was able to use a real operating theater, hospital corridors, and rooms. What is worth mentioning, the whole income from such rental was given directly to the hospital management, so that they could use it for all the needs they have. Well, that is definitely a win-win situation. Mad Max Fury Road. We cannot imagine the adventures in Mad Max Fury Road without the CGI. And yes, this is true. But still, the producers and actors managed to incorporate a few really stunning scenes, which they actually performed live. It was not easy though, and demanded a lot of preparations, trials, and a computer lifting in order to make them look as they did in the final product. A lot of the breathtaking scenes we can watch during Mad Max Fury Road were shot thanks to Guy Norris. The stuntman coordinator and a man with 1,000 ideas took part in creating the final chase, which actually took place in the desert. The great explosion visible on the screen was filmed in real life, and it took a lot of courage to perform. As with many other scenes in this film, the producers shot the main action on location, obtaining a very realistic picture. One of the main actors, Charlize Theron, said later on that it was a great experience to take part in this project and that the work of the experts was just amazing. She also added that it was stunning to find herself in the world driving the incredible vehicles and having those stuntmen around her. It took her a moment to realize that what she could see around was actually happening and all the effects were not a creation of the computer graphics. Furious 7. Finally, the last but not least, Furious 7. Cars, chases, brave drivers. It is a great challenge to the filmmakers to surprise viewers with something new in each part of the series. This time was not an exception. But a lot of you would be surprised to learn that what we can see on the screen did actually take place in the set. Yes, the car did really fall out of the flying plane. It was all filmed thanks to the crew on the ground, but also thanks to the people who were jumping with parachutes, stuntmen in the car or helicopter with cameras. It took months for Jack Gillis, the stuntman coordinator, to prepare all of this, but it turned out brilliantly, we can say. Of course, there are other scenes that are even more furious-like, but they were created with the help of CGI. The moment when a car jumps between the buildings seems impossible. However, there are people who checked all the parameters, and they claim it is. Maybe one day we will be able to watch in a movie a shot like that, but let's be honest, we will still claim it was done with the help of the computer graphics. Hey, you still there? Well, since you made it this far, here are all the shoutouts we promised everyone that commented on our previous video. If you want to be shouted out in our next upcoming video, as well as the ones prior, just make sure you have subscribed to our channel and like this video. What's more, leave a comment that says, "It's my lucky day."